Hey guys, how's it going? Welcome back. So, the MJX F47 4-channel helicopter, fixed pitch, single blade of course. This thing's a lot like the WO Toys V911, size-wise anyways. You know, it's got stiffer landing gear and whatnot. Also has some really super long blades in comparison to the V911. This is another machine that I recently picked up on a trade deal with the F46B brushless helicopter, and of course the same radio. I got one radio for two machines. The radio binds to multiple MJX machines, so if you're looking at getting into the MJX helicopters, this particular radio will bind to several different ones. And they also have upgraded version radios that bind to even more, that sort of thing. There is a record button, of course, on this radio for the F46B and probably a few other of their models. Still doing a little bit of research, but this one I know for sure works on the F46, F46B for the camera system. This little helicopter, of course, has got no camera, and it's not even capable of actually carrying a camera. It's just way too small for that, in my opinion. Now, as far as flying goes, actually it didn't fly too bad when I first got it off of them. Had a couple tail motor issues, still do actually. I've got to change the tail motor out. Tonight I actually broke the positive wire off the back, so I'm just going to snafu the negative off, swap a new motor in there, and we'll be back in the races. The motor was wearing out, and I already knew that, and I was cool with that, you know. And, excuse me. But overall, I mean, for the flying that I did get so far with it, I think it's a pretty impressive little machine. I've looked it up on Banggood's website. There's a lot of different places that sell MJX. I mean, the one place I deal with particularly, though, is Banggood. I love their product selection. I love their prices, you know, and their parts prices are really super cheap, too, on all their RC stuff that they carry, you know. But this particular helicopter, it's really nice to fly. It's I think it's just as agile, to be honest, as the V911, but I don't think it's going to withstand the same kind of flying conditions wind-wise as the V911. The V911, for me, anyways, it seems to do very well in higher winds, and even with, of course, no wind, of course, it does really awesome. But the radio, like I was showing on my last video of the F46B, you have your cyclic control here for, you know, like the lowest point, medium, high point. You can change your stick modes, so that'll be like pirouetting is going to be on the left, and of course banking on the right. That's the normal setup. So we usually would have that stick mode 2. Actually, stick mode 4 will actually put your banking on the left and you're pirouetting on the right, kind of like a 3-channel helicopter. So you can even alter this helicopter's configuration on how things handle. Then of course the ever-loving dial here that seems to control the rotor system. I don't know, I just leave it full blast. Like I said on the last video on the F46B, I leave it full blast because that's where the guy told me to leave it that I got the things from. And I have tried to turn it down, and it doesn't do so well with it turned down, so I just leave it full blast. But same radio controls the two machines. And just a little side-by-side here for you. The radio out of the way. There's the F46B brushless edition against this little F47. So you get an idea of the size difference between the two machines, you know. But I think it's a good little flyer overall. I really like it. Does great. Like I said, I got to fix my tail motor, but hey, no big deal. I got like dozens of those. But parts access, no problems. You know, pretty much any of the MJX stuff that you'll see on Banggood's website, they have no problem with the parts. You know, they have either all the parts or a good percentage of the parts anyways. And then whatever they don't have, you can always find on other websites too. There's tons of places on the internet for MJX parts. Even Fella RC, or not Fella RC, but Fella, I'll put the link in, but can't remember the name of it. I know it's Fella something. They carry tons of helicopter parts for not just MJX, but for many other brands as well. So not a problem getting parts and at reasonable prices. So, but as far as the rating system goes on this little guy, I'm gonna probably put this one out about, I would say, 3.5 out of 5. The one thing that I found was a little odd, which so did the owner I got it from, was the fact that the gearing is so stiff, you know, and that does cut into your flight time a little bit. And it's nothing wrong with the helicopter itself, and it's just, that's the way it is. And it's not a warped pin on the motor or anything like that. It's not an improper mesh. Just seems to be the way it is. I mean, it's going to loosen up, I'm sure, with a lot more use. You know, but right now it's cutting into playtime. You know, and these are little tiny pukey batteries anyway, so they need a little bit higher end battery. This is about a 380 milliamp hour, so I think I need something a little stronger maybe. Might help out a lot. But real simple, easy to put it in. No messing around with balancing it out either for your CG. It's got a stopper, boom, you're done, you know. Pretty simple, pretty easy to deal with. Crash resistant, very crash resistant, just like the V911s are. Even this MJX is very crash resistant. I wiped her out actually quite a few times trying to figure out the flying on it, because I was trying to figure out the radio itself before I downloaded the manual, you know. And but it seems to be a pretty durable machine, you know, which is actually quite bonus. You want durability, you know, especially when you're spending some money on RC stuff. But that's where we're at with that. As soon as I fix the tail motor, get it replaced with a new one, get her back up and flying again, I will definitely cut you guys some flying video footage on this machine to show you what it's like. But until then, thanks for watching, and we'll catch you in the next one.